I found some homebrew in my fridge today. But your other bottle, Jason. One that says SE.
Oh, SE. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that here in a minute. To get started, good morning.
Morning.
Or in case I can't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. There. There's a movie reference for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to A Nice Place to Brew. I'm Jason.
And I'm George.
I'm Paulie.
This is our 4th of July episode, not recorded on 4th of July, but we are upon 4th of July, and a happy Independence Day to all of our American listeners out there. I believe that's the vast majority of you.
Happy Canada Day to everybody in Canada. That just passed.
What day is Canada Day?
It's the 1st, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody want to fact check us? Leave a comment. I'd appreciate it.
When's Canada?
What is okay?
I'm having.
It is July 1st. Okay, good deal. Yep. Today is Thursday, July 2nd. We do our webcast here on A Nice Place to Brew every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a podcast under the same name, A Nice Place to Brew, that's available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast from. Our social media links are A Nice Place to Brew and Nice Place to Brew on all the major platforms. And our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com. Gentlemen, what's everybody drinking tonight?
Drinking Jason's homebrew.
Oh, my
so what does SE
stand
for?
What, SE?
Yeah.
Scottish Export. And that's a carryover from our last episode, because there was discussion about that same style.
Oh, when I could catch it.
Speaking of which, if either of you have Sean's email, feel free to forward the invite to him. I did not have it for one reason or another.
Okay, I'll send. Yeah, no problem. I'll send it over.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it if I had to. So what's up, everybody? Any big plans for the 4th of July?
Not a whole lot.
Nothing brewing related?
That'd be nice, because it's so damn hot outside.
It is extremely hot outside right now here in the Illinois area where it's a nice place to brew. But anyways, you know what? Go ahead, George.
So I was gonna say, depending on whether or not my fermentation finishes up, I might be adding my fruit to the secondary this weekend. But that's the only thing brewing related that I have.
How's the fermentation looking?
It's going real well. I have it in my fermentation chamber that I built. When was that? Last summer. And it's holding it right at 69 degrees, and it's got a nice krausen head on it, and is just bubbling away, nice and steady.
Good. What temperature are you fermenting at?
69 degrees.
69 degrees. What's the range of the yeast packet?
It is, I believe, 67 to 73.
Oh, okay. All right.
So right about the middle of the range. I'm just
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've got temperature control, and you're doing all the right stuff. Well, you don't have that far to go. It's not a high gravity beer, so yeah. I don't think this weekend.
True.
I don't think that's unreasonable at all to say that you could you could move this weekend. What day did you pitch? Was it Tuesday?
Monday.
Oh, it was Monday. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right after the
Monday.
webcast?
Before the webcast.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
What about you, Paulie? What's going on?
Nothing. I'd like to. I really want to brew. But what I want to brew, I can't because I can't get to unless I can get there on Saturday, but they're probably closed. I want to do my IPA competition beer for the club with those hops that we were given.
Yeah.
Which I got Triumph hops, which are actually I'm really excited to use them. So I think I might try and do a different take at Polly's truck with those. Use those as substitute the Cryo Palisades that I used to use in my extremely high dry hop of like 6 ounces.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I might actually this weekend. I might actually go because I tried going to the Grundy County Speedway on Friday, but it got rained out over that storm that came through, and they're racing Saturday afternoon. So
okay,
I might go to the race and die in the scorching heat. But it's the 4th of July for you. So
I was going to say, I mean, that's pretty American to me.
That's what people do. Yeah.
I mean, I've been seeing fireworks for the past month in my neighborhood. It's like a freaking Iraq. Everyone's like, on my block, I can count which houses are doing it. The funny thing, the even funnier thing is like if I've had a few, I start cueing everybody. I'm like, okay, guys, they're done. You're up for the borders over here.
All right.
Are you diving into Scott's beer?
I am. I have just opened up the summer pale ale.
Is that the Southern Tier one that he sent us to?
This is Brooklyn Brands.
Oh, really? He sent me a Southern Tier beer.
Oh, he sent us all different ones then. Here.
What did you
send me
George?
A Genesee. Yeah.
It's a
Genesee cream.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'll show you the one you get.
Sorry,
so obviously
Scott.
he was cleaning out his beer fridge.
Yes. No, I got the green can, right?
Yeah.
Did you get the
green? No,
yeah.
And that's
okay.
Yeah, and that's actually good. In fact, I think I'm going to go swap his since he's not here right now for that.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be right back.
All right, good deal.
And I got the 2 times pale ale.
2 times pale ale.
2
Okay.
times IPA.
All right.
And Scott sent me another Genesee because I feel so terrible when that package came for me that had Bitterman's beers in it. I put them all in a bag because I was bringing them over to Bitterman's house, and I put it on my front porch, and the corner pierced a pin-sized hole in the can. Yes, he's here.
Yes. Scott, we just opened up your beers. We were truly sad at the prospect that you would not be here for this.
I am here. I've got my beer too. Hey, I am doing beer? All right. I've got my beer. I've got the sour, just in case.
Seriously?
That's the one I got right here. What?
Seriously, what?
Yeah, I just went to swap out your beer for a Genesee cream ale that you sent me because you weren't here, and I didn't want to try it when you weren't here.
It's
and
like
then I
10
come
after
back,
7. You guys.
And here you are.
That's right.
You got a long trek back to your kitchen to grab the bottle, George.
Which I guess is what I'm doing. All right.
Well, hold on.
I'll be right
hold
back.
On. Hold on. I just poured the summer ale. So how about we drink this, and then round 2 will be Scott's beer.
Okay.
Sounds
all
right.
Scott, what's your ABV?
Oh my God.
It's like 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Meant to be light.
I'm about to go off on this beer, but I'm going to tell a joke to you guys before we go on, and I think this is relevant because we're coming up on 4th of July.
It's just wrong.
Yeah, I got some things to say about this too. So to all the single listeners out there,
oh no.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. I'm going to help you out this 4th of July weekend. And if you're single and looking to mingle, as they say, you got to have the right pickup lines, right?
Who says that?
Who says that? I mean, That's what they all say, right? The kids. Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. So here's a 4th of July appropriate pickup line that you all can use. Oh boy, this is gonna be a real low point for this show.
No, you haven't done it yet. You can stop.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
No, I feel like you're committed at this point, dude.
I'm committed. All right. It's 4th of July. 4th of July appropriate. So. Hey, on a scale of 1 to America, how free are you this weekend?
Oh.
I'm using that. I love cheese. I fucking love cheese.
Are you sure you don't have a kid somewhere? Because that's like dad joke level stuff, man.
Anyway,
oh man,
that's good. Cheers to that one, Jason.
You making hot sauce?
It is a great
Scott?
joke.
No, I'm doing dishes, but I'm saving all my bottles lately so that small amounts of liquor can be placed. Essential oils.
Essential oils, yes. Yeah.
Very
essential
nice.
oils and hand sanitizer. Yes.
And hand sanitizer. That's right.
Yeah.
PBW.
That one's going to be a fireball.
Okay.
With the hot sauce bottle.
How's the Genesee tasting?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's Genesee cream ale. That white Genesee can I have in there is still mocking me, but Genesee cream ale is pretty solid.
Oh, the Jenny? Yeah, you don't just drink plain Jenny. The Jenny cream ale though is a phenomenal beer. I mean, it is a cream ale. If you like cream ales, it's a cream ale.
Yeah. It is. And it's a pretty good one too. Now, when you go to get it in a store, you have to buy like 800 cans at a time. But,
Nah, we get them in 6-packs out here.
Can you? Okay, because the only thing I saw was like a 30-pack.
Again, we're less than an hour away from the brewery.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense. Yeah.
I'm doing dishes. That's what I'm doing.
How is Brooklyn Brands received?
I like Brooklyn beer.
Good brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
No complaints.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Did you?
I always thought their brown ale, Brooklyn Brown, was really solid.
Do they distribute outside of New York? I mean, George, you're familiar with them?
We get them.
I don't remember if it was. I think it was probably in Pennsylvania where I had it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
So-
I've never
They're
seen
in
this or
Illinois,
had it
Jason.
before. What's that?
Brooklyn is in Illinois.
They-
I've gotten it before.
Yeah, maybe it was in
Maybe
Chicago then.
Maybe it wasn't a West, just like some other breweries are, like Tallgrass and a few other breweries. They come to Illinois, then they maybe don't like it no more, so then they pull out.
Yeah. Okay.
So I haven't had a Southern Tier in so long. I'm so excited.
Is that a double IPA?
Yeah, the double IPA. I
Okay.
haven't had this in a long time. Actually, I don't think I've drinking a whole lot. I've drinking Southern Tier in a couple of years. To be
Now,
honest,
Pretty tasty.
Southern Tier, I don't know, you probably don't get any of this out there, but Southern Tier has a distillery as well, and a cider production facility. So we have some Southern Tier cider in the fridge out here too, or you can get some Southern Tier spirits.
interesting.
I don't think
That sounds like,
seen either of those.
Are they all separate
That sounds like
facilities?
They're facilities, I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't been out there in a couple of years. I would assume, that the main tap room out in Lakewood is not like the main production facility.
I would
I
assume
don't
it
know where
is
they're
just
brewing
because
out of.
Yeah.
that's different different things you need to do, you know.
Yeah, no, I would
Different
assume
equipment you
as
need
well.
and everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't be using the same fermenters for beer and cider.
Right.
Actually,
Was I
reminds
talking-
me, Jake, have you ever been to 18th Street in Hammond, Indiana?
I have not. I'm certainly familiar with them, but no, I've not been out there.
This sounds like because I've been told I haven't made it out there yet, but that corner they're on a corner. They took over the whole corner. They have their brew pub, which is also their brewery, and then they have their sourdough, which is their sour project. It's got its own storefront, and then their distillery has its own storefront, all in the same corner in Hammond, Indiana. It'd be a fun little day trip.
Yeah,
Go hit the distillery sour place, and then go to 18th Street and get some food and beer.
nice. I like it.
Huh.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, 18th Street is a really renowned brewery. Like, I mean, they're seen as one of the better breweries in the Chicagoland area, and they have quite a story too. There's a competitors podcast who invited the head of that brewery on. It was some time ago, but it was a very, very interesting podcast. It was
Won't mention them by name, like
No.
a politician.
no,
My competitor.
yes.
Wait, no. When
My
you say
rival
my
candidate.
competitor, do you mean somebody
my
that
opponent.
pretends like they can compete with a nice place to brew, or is this a professional competitor?
Hey, they've never called somebody from Buffalo to be on their podcast. I mean,
Scott's got a point. Yes,
right?
You certainly are the one and only one from Buffalo who has joined a Chicago podcast originating from the Chicagoland area.
We have a lot of Buffalo beer podcasts if you guys want to get hooked up.
Well,
love to
I mean,
sit with you guys.
case in point, we got WNY Brews hosted by our own Scott.
Now, you guys are members of the Hopped Up Network. Yeah?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no?
No.
No, yeah, Hopped Up Network. No, I don't know.
How do we get
It's like-
connected? I'm sorry, I
Sure.
drink a lot. So there's a Hopped Up Network. It's a podcast network of regional independent beer podcasts. So
Oh,
it's basically marketing for free. So when I'm on,
This needs to be an offline conversation.
yeah.
I will send you
I have
guys info because
lots
I'm
of
sure
questions.
they want you involved. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I thought you
Yes.
already were.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right.
And I'm embarrassed that we've
We're
been
in.
doing the show for 5 years and we did not know about
They're out of Illinois, the Hopped Up Network. However, they're no, I'm sorry. I meant Indiana. Jason, I meant Indiana.
That's not much better.
Are you trying to
not
make me
much
feel better, or are you lying to me?
I'm sorry. No, I'm serious. I
Indiana?
meant Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit
Indianapolis.
better.
But their second largest market of listeners is out of Buffalo. Because
Really?
there's like 5 beer podcasts in Buffalo, and we're all friendly.
Right.
You know, we'll hop on each other's podcasts, and it's great. We all do different things. I'm the homebrew podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why not? We can talk
Hey.
about our rival here. He's not here to defend himself. Paulie knows who this guy is, as does most of the JVP. His name is Joe, and he does his regular shows interviewing people from various Chicago area breweries.
All right.
And I give him credit for what he does. He does very, very well.
Did you hear who he's working for now? He's working for
You heard that too, right, Scott? That was like some backhanded shade.
I did hear that.
Wow.
I stand for what he does.
You know, he tries. God love him.
For what he does it really well. Listen.
I'm not sending links out to this episode. This is going to get me in trouble. I don't know this guy. I've never met him before.
I can't.
Actually,
You know that dog fighter down the street? I don't agree with him, but he is the best dog fighter I have ever seen. I mean, when it comes to dog fighting, he's got a system.
This is quite an example of comparison you're making.
You made it.
Yeah.
I'm on board here.
I didn't say anything about dogs.
Jason, you want to bail out of this particular topic?
I'm not quite sure.
I'm sorry.
I'm on a roll tonight. I started off with a really bad joke, and now I'm.
Yeah.
Bash another podcast in the same town that I live in, for Christ's sake.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine.
Again, if you
And
want to
whoever
up
you
with
are-
Buffalo podcasts, I've got names who will happily jump on.
All right. And by the way, whoever you are that Jason is referencing, if you
got his
want to
name.
come on and hash it out with Jason, you're more than welcome. Just let us know.
I'm totally
I
fine
could've
with that.
written that.
Yeah.
What
Is he bigger than you?
I can arrange that.
Yeah, I know
Because
he's
actually
do.
on-
I know you can. Yeah, that would not be difficult to put together.
No, it'd be real easy. Except
Yeah.
for I don't know his work schedule now because he's working for
What do you
phase
call
3
that?
now.
For
What's
who?
that?
He's a manager
It's like
at phase 3.
Chalice thing.
So, I'm going through my dishwasher, putting things away.
Right.
A bunch of them are beer glasses, because of course.
Right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what kind? For what kind? Well, I mean,
What do
hell,
you
you've got a
call that?
hydrometer cylinder sitting in front of you.
Oh, you can see it. My graduated cylinder. I do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's been in camera the whole time.
My rum wash today came out to 1070, which is
Oh, dang.
which is
Okay.
good, I think. So I'm going to throw some yeast in there, some turbo rum yeast, and make some essential oils, of course. And
Of course.
then we're going to distill that and see how it goes.
Turbo
Okay.
Turbo has rum yeast. Do they have different styles of yeast? Because the store I work at, we sell turbo yeast. That's the only yeast that
Yeah,
we sell
it
for that.
says
Right.
turbo rum. Yeah, is what it's called.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that because, like I said, we at my store we carry turbo yeast too. And it was kind of
That
funny
is-
because there must have been some kind of shortage because right before everything opened back up,
Ah.
I went into the store and we had like 50 packages on back order getting ready to ship out.
Oh wow!
And so, we had like 50 packages on back order getting ready to ship
And
out.
that's illegal.
It's not
is it-
illegal to sell turbo yeast.
Yeah, is there another use for that yeast?
I don't know. There must
I've
be,
heard
right?
Well,
people done it in beer for.
Is
You can do it for beer for fun.
and that's the question though, is shipping that yeast because
I mean,
it
the
can
yeast
be
is not
used
illegal,
for-
but
right
I'm just saying that the people who are buying it
are making
Yeah, when
hand
they're buying
sanitizer.
hand
Come
Or
on,
a
are
Scott.
making
oil.
hand sanitizer.
I had a customer one day come in and buy a 55 bag of maize, 10 pounds of rye, and 5 pounds of 5 packs of turbo yeast. So I'm like, I know what you're doing. And I just had to laugh. I had to laugh about it a little bit.
We can all agree. Well, maybe we can't, but we can all agree that those laws are a little archaic.
A little bit.
They are.
Although you could kill somebody.
Yeah,
You could make somebody go blind too. You could.
You could.
If you don't know what you're doing, you could.
I'm not gonna.
I mean, yeah. That's honestly why I've been afraid to pull the trigger on making sanitizer and essential oils. I don't want to go
That's right.
blind. I can't see as it is at the time.
I was told I'm not allowed to blow up the house.
See, electric.
Exactly.
It's electric. Doot, 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 doot.
Wow,
What is with
I
us?
like
quite a
that.
show.
We're
This is
not
quite a
even
show
drunk.
already.
That's true. I have not had enough to get drunk yet. I've been drinking my sour and it's super light.
Actually, speaking of, to continue on what we always talk about, Jason, did you get that text I sent you with the bottom of a can? I sent it to the
Yes.
group text between the two of us.
Yes. Can
Oh,
we talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that?
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Let me
Do you
pull it
have
up
some
here.
way that we could
So-
show it on screen?
Yes, I can make that happen.
Okay.
I mean, I'll talk real quick before I explain. So, some of these breweries like Lagunitas and who else does it? Lagunitas does it. Not Goose Island. There's somebody else, but I know definitely Lagunitas does it, and it's what they call the Julian date.
Is that
Here,
is
you know,
that an
George,
example there?
I'll take care of it. I got it.
No. Yeah, he's got
No?
the picture of it. He's got a picture of it. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Okay, all right.
It's partially like it. But the way it's kind of cool the way it's broken down. It says each number or letter indicates something. Here we go. Perfect. So the 064, that's the day, the 64th day of the year that this beer was canned.
Oh,
Okay.
The 0 is 2020. You know, it's the last one of the year.
Okay.
And the 2 is since Lagunitas only has 2 facilities, that means it was brewed in the Chicago location.
facility
These other ones
number
down
2.
here, I don't know.
Facility number 2, yeah.
Facility number 2. Cataluma's facility 1. Chicago's facility 2.
Okay, all right.
And I know a lot of filling places. Like I had a buddy of mine tell him, that's how he told me about this. Because he works for Diageo, which they're a blending / packaging facility in the Chicago area for like spirits. Like they do like mostly all the they get raw Smirnoff and then they add the flavors in the line. And then those Julian are on
That's
there.
how that happens.
I think Guinness does it. So like if you're ever looking at a date on a can and you see those numbers, I guess like as we always talk about the date that we care about would be the first 3 numbers. And so, you know, like 64th day, that's like roughly what?
That's March 2nd or 3rd, something
May?
like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, that's more like May 2nd or 3rd because 30. Yeah, because because keep in mind February only has 28 days. This year
Not
we had
this year.
29.
Yeah.
31
Yeah, this-
plus 29. That's 60 days. Add
Yeah.
4. That's
Jason's
March 4th.
math
Okay, so
man.
you're right. All right,
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah,
So-
No, actually, this is super interesting. Does every cannery use this same code system?
No,
Okay.
not
Well, if you
not
look at
Genesee.
a lot of I think it's more like your bigger places, like
Okay.
Lagunitas. I think Goose Island does it. I know AB and Bev. They do like expiration. At least Budweiser, they do expiration dates, not born on date. But I would say more of your bigger places. That was kind of funny because like I was looking at this Southern Tier bottle and it was kind of wore off. But for all you people that are date checkers like I am, that's how you can read these.
So
So don't
what
buy
about
anything after 90 days.
what about the numbers below that? Is that just
Yeah.
like a lot in
Like
cereal or?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot. Maybe the line it came off of or something like that.
Okay.
Like it was funny because like I called my buddy that worked for Diageo, and then I also called a friend of mine. She works for Lagunitas, and this is actually a Lagunitas can. And she told me the same thing. That's how I was able to tell you 2020 and facility 2. Probably lot number, whatever number came off the line, maybe what line it was on, you know, because like when you go to like if you ever go to the Lagunitas in Chicago, you go to their packaging facility, they got like three or 4 packaging lines where they just package it all and ship it.
I wonder at what point in the process these cans get stamped.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure all these people, because everything's so automated, that's probably one of the first things they do when it comes off the pallet. They probably send it through a stamp.
You think after there's beer in it?
No, I would say as it's getting shipped down the line. Like first thing, someone loads the cans in,
Yeah.
or it's getting pulled off a pallet or whatever.
Yeah.
First thing they do, that's got to dry. That ink's got to dry.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, here's here's why I think it might be the opposite, because I think when the can's going down the line, there's no liquid in it, so it's really lightweight. I mean, an empty can, I mean, how much does that weigh? You know, there may not be enough, weight,
Right, unless there's
inside that
something
can to hold it.
Unless there's something that, like, when it does the date, that is over top of it to make sure it can't pop up.
Yeah, but you could.
Well,
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
not only that, but you could also potentially crush the can accidentally.
Well, this part of the can actually is very strong because that's where it's bent in and everything. That's stronger than the side.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah, good point.
Huh.
or it could be a laser printer too. It could be one of those laser printers that they put in there. I don't know. I never used a laser.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
He doesn't like working with lasers.
Actually, I love lasers.
And actually, that was very cool. I really wonder. I wonder about other systems.
Well, like most of the places in Chicago, they just do the date it was born or canned on.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
I like the day it's canned.
It's funny. I was reading something and they were saying, like, well, what if you changed your meat expiration date to a killed on date? And it's like, that'd be great because you can see how fresh it is. It's kind of the same thought process here.
Yeah. I opened up some pork ribs today and they had a smell to them, and that kind of stuff would be great to know. The expiration date was today, like use or freeze by. But man, that'd be pretty cool to know when it was actually at least packaged.
Right, packaged. It was probably what they probably wouldn't say killed on. But, it was some vegan trying to prove a point that backfired on him spectacularly.
Great idea. I would love if they did that.
Yeah. I'm all for that. Somewhat related topic. I find it super weird that Budweiser wants everyone to know that they use rice in their.
I find that weird too. Miller does that
recipe.
too.
Yep. Like, hey, you know that Reinheitsgebot? You know how we're a German company? Or they're not, they're Belgian, but they give off the German company. You know how we used to be a German company? Yeah. We use rice. 4 simple ingredients. And they don't list the yeast, by the way.
They don't. Yeah.
No, on the box. Barley, water, rice. It's something else. I don't know. Hops. That's right. What else makes beer? What is it again?
Yeah. Yeast. Only what's usually contributes the most character to the beer of any ingredient.
Yep. But yeah, they want to let us know, like, oh yeah, there's rice in there. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like they want people to think that that's totally normal.
We had a whole conversation on Monday about rice hulls, but
we did.
That's different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, it was cool but strange in a way, like because my internet wasn't working good on my phone, so I had no problem listening and then chiming in every now and then. So it was fun and weird on the same end. Like I could chime in, but I couldn't. And like when I was at work, we got busy at work.
Welcome to the world of crappy internet, Polly.
Yeah, I know.
Let's not bring that. Let's not jinx it.
I know, right? Yeah, knocking on wood.
We're 30
It's going really well so
George.
far.
Quiet.
We're doing good.
Yeah, we're 37 minutes in. Be quiet.
All right.
Oh man.
I'm done with dishes.
All right.
It's partly dishes from like dinners and stuff, and it's partly like auto siphons and.
Wait,
you know how it is.
Okay, so you're almost done with dishes. Jason, did you ever go off on that beer?
No, I didn't.
I feel like we got sidetracked.
Yeah, I'm soldiering this beer down.
No good? No.
Hey, people drink terrible beer in this country all the time. You can
but
handle
that's
it.
their choice, typically.
Who's forcing you to drink this beer?
He doesn't want to offend you, Scott. You sent it to him. You took the time. But you know what? Another way to look at this, Jason.
No.
Oh, okay.
The other one.
No, it's not yours.
It's the Brooklyn Brands Pale Ale.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. Is it the Brooklyn Pale Ale that I sent you?
Yes.
That's my beer.
What?
That's a sour.
Okay, that could explain a lot of things for you, Jason.
Jeez. Okay, yes. Yeah. Dude, I've been drinking this like it's a pale ale the whole time.
No, it's not.
This beer is sour. I'm like, this is not a pale ale.
So is that what the beer was? Oh my God!
New favorite thing for tonight. New favorite thing.
Oh my God. I was wondering why that beer was something like a double IPA. I'm like, what?
You are absolutely allowed to not like my beer, especially because it's gone through the mail and he's gone, and because it was beer gum.
Okay, is this your kettle sour?
That's a kettle sour.
Okay, all right. No, I need to change everything.
You are allowed to not like it. It's okay.
No, I appreciate that. But like this, that changes the whole framework of the conversation. Like what I'm drinking.
Yeah, because if you were expecting pale and you got sour,
yes, that's exactly where I've been at.
I had this happen at a homebrew club meeting just before quarantine. So it must have been February, maybe early March, and I brought a kettle sour and a Quebec IPA. Right, and I got the two growlers messed up. So I sent the first one out.
Yeah, I've done this before.
And it was the kettle sour, right? And I'm like, this is the Quebec IPA. It came out pretty fruity, kind of tropical. Right? People are tasting it like, oh yeah, I kind of get it. I'm kind of getting it. Like, what's this flavor? Right, and then I got some like, oh, sorry guys, that's the kettle sour. That's
makes complete sense now.
All right. Hitting reset right now. Okay, so let's look at it. This beer is super clear.
Like, it is.
Yeah, like
feel free to talk about it freely while I'm gone, because I promise you I won't watch this on YouTube.
I'm gonna wait for you then, Scott. Not gonna do it.
I'm almost out. I'm gonna go get some.
Okay, sure.
Sure. That's my favorite thing from tonight so far.
I know. I'm on a roll tonight. This is not gonna be a late show. I can tell you that.
Oh come on, let's have some fun. And actually, now I think about it, Jason, I'll bring those couple Mexican lagers to the store on Monday when I go back to work, and you can come get them whenever you want.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
Because I almost brought them on Monday, but I was running late, and they were actually sitting on my counter again. I'm like, damn it! Because I could just tell everybody.
I can probably come in the middle of the day because I think I'm going to be working from home. Well, because
tomorrow?
No, Monday. I mean, you start at like what, 10 or something?
11.
11? Okay. All right. So I'll come around lunchtime.
All right, cool. I'll make sure I bring them with me then.
All right.
Because I want you to try them. And actually, I'll give you another one too. I just picked up the Brian from Blue Island's new Mexican lager that they just released last weekend.
Oh, nice.
The Hero and Villain series that he was talking about when we had him on.
Yeah.
I got some of that on. Like, it was funny. Last Thursday, I get a call from a friend, and he's like, hey, you want to go out? And I'm like, and we were talking about where we wanted to go. I'm like, hey, you want to go somewhere new or somewhere different? And I said, hey, let's go to Blue Island. And he's like, sure. I stumbled upon their tapping that day. They were releasing those cans that day. It was a tapping. And because I'm actually part of their Golden Growler Club, I got my first 4-pack for $4. I got them at cost. So nice. I was like, God damn. I'm like, I'll buy 2 of them. I'll pay $4 for the first one, and then I'll bring the other one home. And then I ended up going down to the Rock Island Public House. Did I bring you to the Rock Island Public House when you and I went there? We went to the Riff, right?
We've been to Rock Island. Isn't that when we went to the? No, wait, that was Blue Island. Never mind.
No, but they're right down the street from each other.
Yeah, they're a block
Okay.
away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I was thinking about that Session Beer Fest. That
Which
was
was
at
at
Blue
Blue
Island,
Oh,
right?
the session.
We had
Yeah.
okay. Remember, we had dinner at that place that was right down the street from there. That was not public house.
Oh, you guys had dinner
Yeah.
at,
No, it was Paulie. It was the place that
Sure.
burned down. It was what was the
what is it?
Maple Tree Inn.
Maple Tree Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Oh, Maple
George-
Tree burned down.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
and they
we
actually
were still
moved.
around when that
They're
happened.
open back up.
That doesn't mean I knew.
No, they
Yeah.
burned down last year. They burned
Oh,
down last year.
Oh, then I wasn't around. Yeah.
And they're actually reopened now. But they're not in Blue Island anymore.
Right.
But from where I heard it, where they're at in Homewood, it's a beautiful spot. It really is. So maybe you should bring Candy up there for dinner one day. And then about 5 minutes away, you can go over to Flossmoor Station, which is about
Yeah, that's not far at all. That's not a bad idea. All right.
I mean,
All right.
I would suggest dinner at both.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Finishing this.
All right. Come on, bottle. All right, Scott, starting this.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right. Oh, and he's
And we
gone.
lost
That he just signed off.
He sent me two. One was a bottle regular 12-ouncer, and the other one was a little midget 8-ounce bottle.
Oh, you got you. Oh, yeah. See, that's
Yeah.
really that's clear.
Yeah.
I could see you guys behind it. Yeah, I was
yeah.
like you
All
said,
right.
Jason. I was totally ready to start ripping that Southern Tier beer apart. The 2 times IPA. I was ready to tear that thing apart.
Listen,
And then I heard, oh, it's a kettle sour. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
I will say this when Scott gets back, but you have to know what you're getting into when you pour a sour.
You do. You really do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it's not on purpose and if it's not done
Right.
well, it can easily be a sign of bad beer.
Well, let's be honest. There's a whole lot of beers that are accidentally sours.
True.
and then breweries push them off and call them a sour. We're just changing the name of it.
Yeah, that's true also. Scott, what we were saying was there's a lot of breweries out there that are accidentally making sours, not on purpose. And second point is when you pour a sour beer and taste it for the first time, you have to know what you're getting. Because because you taste that and you may be like, oh, this beer is accidentally sour, which is not a good thing. So that's why my reaction to that first sip was what it was.
Sure.
No. I mean that sincerely. I really do.
Okay.
What am
So,
I
Scott,
getting on the
I
nose of
opened
this?
I open this and it turns out sour. I'm like,
Look at
really?
this, Paulie. I'm right there with you. Come on.
I'm the only one that got standard homebrew.
I have that right here.
Sorry, I didn't remove labels. I'm sorry. I should have understood what was happening here.
Scott, is this an experiment that you're playing on us? Is that what's going on?
All right, so
Have
I'm
you noticed-
drinking it at home here,
Okay.
and there's, I mean, it's a super clean sour.
Yes, it is.
There might be a little bit of a phenolic taste on it, but that's way in the back.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to hear any. Look at my non-beer clean mug. Apparently, I'm willing to hear any comments because I like it here. And again, I beer gunned it, which I don't normally do,
Okay.
and then
well,
sent it through the mail.
yeah.
So let's
no,
hear
I
it.
don't, yeah, I don't think the mail and I don't think the beer gun did anything.
I was gonna say, well, how do you normally fill bottles in? If you don't
I don't.
beer gun, what do you do?
He doesn't.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
But if we're talking for a competition, I will add priming sugar into the keg, and then beer gun 6 to 12 bottles off of that, and then let them bottle condition.
Okay.
So my beer gun is basically just a bottling gun.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then when you throw the rest of the keg in the kegerator, I mean, you're not carbonating it, and that extra sugar doesn't really do anything to it. It's so little that's going in. So when I'm making for competition, that's what I do, is I will prime the keg like a bottling bucket, because a keg sugar is different. You add a different amount. So I will prime it like a bottling bucket and then bottle 6 to 12 bottles off of it, and then just throw the rest in the keg.
What's the logic in doing that versus just hooking up a beer gun to a CO2 tank?
The years that I used a beer gun just to beer gun off for competition, I got things back like it was undercarbonated. So,
all right. Yes, I've had that experience too.
People saying, it's supposed to be effervescent and it wasn't. Like, it was beer gun.
Yeah.
And I prefer bottle conditioned for competitions. So I add the priming sugar
strange.
and then use the beer gun to fill
when
bottles.
you beer gunned it out of a keg, because I've had I beer gun into latch top bottles all the time, and so sometimes when I open up those latch top bottles, they want to shoot the cap off of the bottle, like it's super carbonated, or at least super pressurized. Do you hit it with a little bit of extra CO2 at the end before you seal up your bottle, or?
I do, and I overcarb just a little bit. And then I try to keep everything super cold. But it's a huge process. And the reason why I keg is to not bottle anymore.
That's
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think most homebrewers would agree.
Yeah. So the process when I'm entering things into competition is I will look up, 5 gallons is just as like I'm going to put into a bottling bucket. And I'll look up the amount of priming sugar that I'm going to put in for the amount of volumes of CO2 I want. And I'll make that up and throw it into the bottom of the keg. And then I'll rack the beer from my fermenter into the keg. And then immediately, using CO2, I will push it out into bottles, cap those bottles, and then be done. Throw the keg into the kegerator, and that's it.
You did bring up a point that I've struggled with, and that's opening bottles that end up being flat. And George has probably been the recipient of some snow globes from unspecified senders where the carbonation may have been less than expected. So I think you're on to something here. I do kind of get that.
I wonder if you were to just I wonder if you could kind of.
So we had
if you could. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a question in the chat for you, Scott. On the kettle sour, what pH did you go down to?
3.2.
You went to 3.2. Yep. And that was exactly the question. 3.2. Yeah.
What's? I'm not getting a ton of sour in this.
It's not overly sour, but it is at 3.2. And I will pre-acidify. So I'll add maybe 10 to 15 milliliters of lactic acid to it to bring it down into the 4s. That is right after the mash. I will add about 10 to 15 milliliters of lactic acid to bring it into the 4s, and then I'll pitch, and then I'll drop it down to 3.5 or 3.2.
Okay.
Is where this one finished.
Okay. I think you did everything right making a kettle sour on this. I really do.
Silly question. Besides the lactic acid, how would you bring the pH down a little bit more down to 3.2? Just mineral?
With this one was Kavita. Normally I use a probiotic, and that has lacto in it. I'm saying I add just straight lactic acid to pre-acidify.
Okay.
And then I throw in the probiotic and keep it at 95 to 100 for 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
And that drives it down.
Okay.
So Sean also says that normally he has his kegs at 5 psi and his beer gun at 15 psi. That's very similar to what I do too. Like I have
15 seems super high.
It is.
It
Doesn't it for a
does,
beer
doesn't it?
gun?
Yeah.
Well, but it may solve for
but
that problem
it-
that we're talking about.
Well, because I want as little foam as possible, so I fill super slowly.
Mhm. And so I
as
bleed
cold as I
off
can.
most of the CO2 in the keg and fill it. But what I think he's saying and what I'm saying is the CO2 I add from the gun, like just pressing the button and that just fills CO2 directly from the tank, is at a higher pressure. And
Do
so
you
when
think that
I'm
matters?
purging the bottle, I don't know. I mean, I've not had problems with. I mean, I've sent you everything I've sent you
One
guys
moment.
has been beer gunned. Do you feel like it's been under pressurized?
Not that I can recall.
Not that I can recall either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
mean-
I honestly don't know if that makes a difference, but I've not had a big problem. Like I make sure from the start, as quickly as humanly possible, that beer gun is submerged. The end of that beer gun is submerged in liquid, because that preserves the CO2 in the liquid. If it's outside of it, if you've just got it like right in the neck of the bottle, you're gonna lose a lot. You want to have it down, and I tilt it until it's filled to about here, and then I'll straighten it out to
Okay.
fill it up the rest of the way.
Okay.
Just
all right.
get it under the liquid as quick as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I've actually been helping one of the local breweries around here on some of their canning runs. I've helped them out on 2 canning days, and it's kind of fun because we're actually canning with a beer gun, and they actually bought the seamer, and
Nice.
that's actually kind of cool being able to can your own beer. It really is.
Yeah.
Got my ears turning. I'll tell you that right for sure.
Go brush your teeth.
Yeah,
guys.
if I could find, a
Still
way that a
gonna be.
crowler
Still
machine and a bunch of crowler cans could fall off the back of a truck for me, I would do that.
I'm there with you, man.
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
Yep.
I need to go clean this
You know,
glass out so I can try beer number 2. So hold the
Okay.
fort down, all right?
All right.
I
Scott, did you?
2 bottles of the kettle sour to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
That's
my
awesome.
other
Oh,
one
yeah.
was a tiny bottle, but I got it. Yeah.
I'm getting a call right now from Carbondale, Illinois.
Not
Right
us.
by me. No, not by me. It's 5 hours away. What am I talking about? But
Yeah, Carbondale's nowhere near
Beautiful
you.
same state, closer than he is.
I guess compared to Scott. Yeah.
Right?
Thanks
Scott,
again for that, Bob. Man.
Sorry, Polly. What were you saying?
I want to say thanks, Scott, personally. Thank you for the other can of Genesee. So what happened was
yeah.
after further review, because all those cans that you sent me, I had them all in a bag, and when I put them on my front porch, I guess the corner of my concrete stairs popped a mini pinhole in the side because I literally saw beer spitting out the side of the can. And I'm actually trying to get all the beer out of that
Give it a
can.
good brush. 2 minutes.
That guy John. And how cool would that be for him to have an empty beer can that doesn't have any holes and the top's not popped, doesn't have any holes on the bottom. It's got a microscopic hole on the side. I think that'd be kind of funny. Be like, here you go, put this one in your collection.
So, Scott, the question I had for you about the beer, if you could hear me, is did I thought you said you added some kind of fruit adjunct to this? Am I making that up?
Yeah, there's no fruit. This is totally clean.
Okay, all right, cool. Because that's pretty much what I was getting out of it. So, this is a super easy drinking sour. If I was going to give one note, I think that it might benefit from like another dimension in it, adding some fruit flavor or adding, maybe some spice to it or something just to give it a little bit of extra character to it, because like you said, it is very clean, very crisp sour, but it feels, it almost, and maybe I'm just comparing it to other sours that I've had recently, but it almost feels like it's missing something. You know what I mean? Unless that was your intention.
Typically, we will add salt and lime to it. But
I feel like that would be real interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it's a margarita beer, basically.
Yeah.
So, do you use yogurt in the kettle sour, or are you actually using lactose when you let it sit? Because I've heard a lot of breweries around here are using yogurt when they chill it down.
I'm using probiotic drinks. One of the lacto probiotic. The one that I used for this one is Kavita, which is, I think, a brand.
Yeah, but I think you said that usually, and I've heard other people say this too, that you usually use Good Belly, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a great name for a probiotic.
Good
Belly?
Isn't it? Yeah.
What's that?
All right. Hey, Scott. No, he's off. I'll save my question for when he gets back.
I think he can still hear you.
Yeah, and he can't answer me.
Sorry.
Scott,
Yeah.
I am drinking from a bottle that is labeled 14C Scottish Export. What am I drinking?
You're drinking the kettle sour.
See?
Ignore the labels.
I'm like, ignore the labels.
Yeah, don't worry about labels.
Speaking of categories,
Go ahead, Polly.
all right, I was going to say, speaking of categories, I was talking to a guy from Boss yesterday. I've been trying to get on and join us one night. And with them redoing Charlie Orr right now, they're not full up yet. They're about halfway full. So if anybody wants to get in, I would maybe at least get in right now.
If they had put in a Belgian category, I'd be there, but I don't have anything for them. You know, there's no Belgian category.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a couple that I'm gonna go with one that I won last year, and then I'm gonna go with one that, well, I didn't win anything in that competition, but I won it in another competition.
Paulie, do you remember offhand what the categories are that they're allowing submissions for?
Give me a second. I'll look it up.
I saw it briefly, and I can't recall.
While he does that, Scott, Sean asked. Oh, and there goes Scott. He's playing the part of me tonight.
Internet connections in Buffalo, New York, are not having their best night.
Sean, when he gets back, I will ask him. Oh man.
Well, this is a compliment to Scott. I'm having 2 kettle sours back to back, which I don't think I've ever done before in my life.
I was gonna say, I was curious how you were gonna feel about this because you are not a sour fan.
No, I'm not.
So as not a sour fan, is this something that you would choose to drink again?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Now, it wouldn't be my first choice, and I say that only because of how I feel about the category. But, you know, back to my quote-unquote insult from my competition earlier this evening for what he does. You know, he does very well. Well, I would make a similar comment for this. For what it is, which is a kettle sour, he hit on all the notes that he should have. So
yeah, I totally agree.
I can't knock him at all. Like there's nothing here for me to knock.
Yeah, my only comment on this is is that I thought it would benefit from an adjunct like a fruit or something like that, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And he said he usually adds, this is where Sean's question comes from, he usually adds lime and salt to it and has kind of a margarita beer situation.
That would be a very different beer with lime.
It would be, and I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah. Now, that's a good point that you made. And now I'm thinking to myself, what would be a good adjunct for this?
Yeah, and I'm thinking a fruit that would be a little bit more on the tart side, but also light, like a raspberry blackberry kind of
No,
situation.
no.
No, okay.
See, I think with an addition like that, I think you're overwhelming the palate. Like all that would be
Well,
doing is you'd
okay.
be adding to the sour notes that are already there.
And I say that and for you would be absolutely right. For somebody that has an appreciation for sours, it absolutely would not. And I find myself developing an appreciation for sours.
Okay.
No, but I totally understand where you're coming from, and it would not be a beer for everybody.
Yeah. So
This is like
maybe we answer this.
This I would categorize. Go ahead.
Okay, so maybe we frame this two different ways. For people that appreciate sours, George, as an example, to further those sour notes, you could add some kind of tart berry flavored.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Now
Yeah,
continue your thought, and I'll.
To continue my thought right now, that this is a sour beer for people that don't like sour beers. Like it is still a sour beer. It is a very solid sour beer, but it is on the low end of sour.
Yes,
is what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. So let's go to the other end. For the non-sour beer people, what would be an adjunct that you would add to this to appeal to their taste?
All right, so
Sean just said black currants.
Oh, that's a good one, Sean.
I'm a little lost on that one.
Black currants are sweeter, but still have just the tiniest amount of tartness to them. They are also, Sean, if I remember correctly, quite expensive at this to use at this volume.
It's probably true.
It's the same reason I haven't made my huckleberry beer, because huckleberries aren't cheap. Although, given how much I love Tombstone, it's got to happen at some point.
I'm your huckleberry.
Yep. Yeah, black currants would be a good one. I'm also thinking maybe strawberry. No.
So,
but they're so sweet.
Yeah. Well, okay. It's just the idea of adding a fruit to this, I feel like would be furthering those sour notes, whether you wanted to or not.
Okay, so what would you add as an adjunct?
I'm thinking to myself, yes. My brain's going to a spice. I just can't place what the right spice would be.
See, me, I would actually do I'd probably put a fruit in there. Like
blackberry.
I'm all by myself here. Okay.
You are. Well, I mean, Paulie, what's your feeling on sour beers?
I like sour beers. I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy them.
And I think that's where we're differing. It's one of those styles. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. What were you saying?
It's one of those styles that took me years to get into.
Mm-hmm.
And once I finally got into them, like I've always talked about, I had a summer where all I drank was nothing but sours. I went down to Indianapolis with buddy of mine, Sean, for Upland every year. They do a sour and funk festival where it's just nothing but sour beers. Oh, I was in heaven that one day. I mean, actually, the one time I actually went to GABF, we focused on nothing but sour beers all across the country. And it was kind of funny because sour beers are such low ABV. I was like, we were 2 hours into the session. I looked at my friends, like, we need to get off these sour beers and start drinking heavily because I am nowhere near as drunk as I should be. 2 hours into a
beer. So, Paulie, I would change what you said just a little bit. It took me years to get into sours. It took me years to find good examples of sours, is what I would say. Because at least initially, I found some truly terrible examples of sours, and it turned me off to the style for a long time. And and
Thank you, Sean.
I'll send you my address, Sean.
Actually, I'll send it to him, George. I have it, so.
Okay, all right, great. But yeah, I would say in recent times, just like I think with IPAs, people are getting more refined with the style, and it's less in your face sour and tartness, and more, fruity flavors and sour notes and everything, and they've gotten much better. And so I found a few that I really like.
Okay.
Actually, the first sour beer that I actually really enjoyed was a Flanders beer that they aged in oak. Actually, Matt from Ale Song. It was when he was at Flossmoor, he made what he called the Leftorium, the Flanders style ale, which made me giggle.
I love it.
Where did the Leftorium fit in with that? Oh, that was the name of the beer?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ned Flanders.
I know the reference. I know. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I didn't catch the Leftorium as the name of the beer until.
The name of the Leftorium. It was a Flanders red that they aged in some kind of wine barrel. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was definitely a wine barrel they aged in it, and it was really good. But since I got this up, I'm going to change the subject really quick. To go back on this, I got the categories that Charlie Orr is going to be this year. They got the American APA, 18B, 19A, or Amber, California Common, American Brown. That gets me. IPA, the New England and other specialties, 21B. IPA Argenta, never heard of that one, ×2. Strong American, 22A IPA, American Strong Ale, 22B, barley wine, Pilsners or Czech Pilsners, Czech Premium Pale Lager, German Pils, Pre-Prohibition Lager, New Zealand Lager, English Ordinary Bitter, Best Bitter, Strong Bitter, British Golden, English IPA, Fruit Beer, Spice Beer, Smoke Beer, Alt Fermentable, Wood, Specialty, and there's a featuring the special. That's pretty much it. And then spice, and then spice and herb vegetable beer. Those are the only, and alternative sugar. Those are the only categories that are going to be this year.
Okay, see, nothing Belgium in there.
Yeah,
and they're even saying they're not even allowing wood beers or Rausch beer. Yeah, they're not
Rausch beer. No smoke beers.
No smoke beers. No wood aged Russian Imperial stouts. No fruited Berliner Weisses.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Scotch ales are out.
Scotch ales are out.
Porters are out. Yeah.
Dang.
Well,
that's really limited.
The two I want to enter, I can actually get in 2 of those categories. So, and actually, if one of them turns out good enough, I might do that still, because I really want to try my hand at those new hops I was telling you about. I just gotta pull the trigger and get them shipped from Brando, which is gonna drive me crazy because I could just drive over there and get it.
Yeah.
So
I give him a lot of credit for finding a way to still put this on. So yes, I mean, I was none of us were part of the decision on what categories they would accept, but hats off to Charlie Orr for just finding a way to make it work. So cheers to you.
I don't know. Hear what they're doing. You got to enter 4 beers per category.
Oh, I thought it was more. I thought it was like 6.
No, it's 4. No, 4 per category.
Yeah,
and actually, what they're doing is this all going to be Zoomed. All the judging is going to be Zoomed.
Yes, I did hear. Where did I get 6 from? I thought is it 6 bottles you have to submit?
No, it's 4 bottles.
4 bottles,
per
yeah.
category. But you're only allowed 2 categories to enter.
Yeah, I mean, limited to 100 entries. Yeah, that's exactly. Kind of the right thing to do.
And I was actually talking to another home brewer that's part of the Brixie's Homebrew Club. And you know how they do Bricktoberfest all the time?
Yeah.
I actually saw them at the store on Monday.
Yeah.
And they're going to, as far as I know, Bricktoberfest is happening. And they're going to follow the Charlie Orr, how Charlie Orr is doing it this year.
Okay.
So
That's great news.
Bricktoberfest is going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to cut it in half like everybody else has.
Yeah.
But it's still going to happen. Yeah.
No, I've submitted to Bricktoberfest for the last 2 years running. So that makes me, I feel good that that's happening again. Good.
You know Dave Petty?
I've met some people out there. I can't remember their names offhand.
Dave Petty's a real tall, skinny guy.
Yes.
Clean cut.
You know where I met him? It was at Chaos.
Oh, yeah, because he was right next to us.
Yep.
All right. So I don't know how much longer we're going, but Sean said he'll be able to jump in about 10 minutes. If you want to send him the invite, Chase.
Yes.
Okay. So I have something for you, and it's kind of going back to the well for us for this for brewing, you know. One that I think might be good for a spice adjunct for this is maybe coriander.
I had that same thought, and I think that has some promise.
Yeah, because it's got citrusy notes to it and nice spice notes, and I think it might make it a little reminiscent of a saison, but I think it could work
probably.
Well. Yeah. And hey, did you know that the leaf of a coriander is cilantro?
No,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
really?
I just found that out. Thank you, Wikipedia. Yeah,
wow,
it's cilantro.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't on an Urban Dictionary.
It was not. I do not frequent Urban Dictionary.
We're not knocking you if you do.
No. But I just don't think it gets the. So I get my sources other places. In this case, I have no reason to believe that Wikipedia would lie to me, but if it has, somebody let me know. But I'm looking at a picture of coriander leaves, and it looks a hell of a lot like cilantro to me.
What else could be added that could maybe increase the... I'm trying not to say sweetness, but what could you do to make this a little bit maybe maltier? Or
Change
dare I
the
say
recipe.
breadier? No, yes, but
Breadier. Are you looking for a more full body beer?
maybe.
I think you might be. And I think that's why a lot of people are adding lactose to sours these days, is because it gives it a more full-bodied consistency.
I would have to try an example of that.
If you can find one, like check Untapped for one called Das Yummy.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
actually.
It holds true to the name. Let me tell you. It will hit you in Das Yummy. Yeah, it will hit you in the face with some tartness. But I think I described it like this before. But if I didn't, I'll do it again. It's kind of like a Sour Patch Kid. It hits you in the face with sour, but then as you drink, after you get that initial punch, then it becomes sweet for you, and it's really tasty.
Not available in this area. Wow, this is interesting. Peach crumble pie is described as okay. The brewery is called Ozel Finch Beers and Blending.
Okay.
Oh, Fort Monroe, Virginia. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'll send you a snow globe or two then.
Ozel Finch. What a name.
I'd be curious to try that. That'd be really good.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm really loving these packages we send amongst each other. I come home from work and there's a package on my front porch. I'm like,
No, No, I will echo that as well. That has really been a bright point of the quarantine for me.
Yeah.
You know, sharing my stuff with you guys and getting packages.
Yeah, I'm looking forward, assuming it turns out well, I'm looking forward to sending you guys some of the lemon lime shandy.
Look forward to it as well.
And I'll tell you what, if you have a deck to build, it does a good job helping out.
Can you print that on the label? If you have a deck to build, this helps it along.
So, since we're talking about brewing, when are we gonna get together and do our pressure fermentation? I mean, we're talking about doing Oktoberfest. We should do it soon.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
It's my July project. Yeah.
Me and Jason will get together and we'll figure it out. I'm still got to work on Jason or Mike over at Brew and Grow. See if we can use his system. It would be really nice because they got a badass system.
I've got. I was earmarked for next weekend, Polly. If we can make something work. So I was going to save that for offline conversation, but
okay.
Let's kind of kick that around.
We'll talk about it offline.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that because everything I've read about fermenting under pressure says you can do a lager at ale temperatures and still get lager flavors and not produce the fruity esters and things because it's under pressure. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to use my fermentation chamber and give it a go.
It only takes you a week to do it. It
only
takes you a week to log too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, when I read that, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is a game changer here.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
No, it does. I mean, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense also.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if I'll make it a standard kind of thing, but
maybe not. But actually, I want to add some comments to the topic we talked about on Monday once Sean gets in. But that's another thing that has kind of played around in my mind ever since too.
Okay.
So
yeah, and I've already added. I edited the recipe. I gotta get my sentences together. I moved my I copied your recipe into my folder on Beersmith.
Okay.
And changed it for my setup and everything. And I did add half a pound of rice hulls to it because I think that's going to become fairly standard for me.
Good.
The only thing with rice hulls is if you ever want to make your make dog treats out of your spent grain, can't use rice hulls.
Why not?
I've read a bunch of recipes and I know a few people that have actually made dog treats from their spent grain.
What about cow
there's
feed?
many cow feed. I think it's okay with. I asked a good question, and I don't see why not.
Grain. It's not grain.
Yeah, I think I don't know. That's a good question.
Because
I just know rice hulls aren't good for dogs. That's what I know for a fact.
Okay,
everything I read about it.
Yeah, George, you should look that up. That's where
mine have been going. Yeah, because my spent grain's been going to cows lately. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might want to totally look into that. That's a good question.
Well, who told you about the dog treat thing?
There's recipes on AHA website.
No, I know there is, but who told you about the rice hull dog treat thing?
It's in a few of the recipes saying don't use rice hulls.
Okay.
There was a few of the recipes. So I've looked at like 3 or 4 of them, and it said it in there. I think is right when I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, AHA put one out, and it did say right in the bottom that don't if you can, don't use rice hulls. Which I'm like, all right. And like I know a lot of home brewers that just grab a handful of rice hulls just for good measure. Right into the. And I've had a few of them because I had some grain sent to me from some friends, and I'm like, and they're like one guy's like, I had him in my hand, and I was like, oh yeah, put him back in the bag.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's not a requirement. It's one of those things for me that like Sean was talking about, efficiency at the end of the day at our level especially doesn't really matter. But
Yeah,
if I
right.
throw in a half a pound of rice hulls and I go from 70% efficiency to 75, that's going to
Yeah.
be, that's going to be, it's going to produce a higher ABV Marzen than I'm expecting, but it's going to
Yeah.
be interesting. So
I think a
Like
better
to
measure of quality on a homebrew scale is whether or not you hit your OG.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's obviously partially a function of your efficiency, but it doesn't end there.
And I am hitting my original
Yeah.
gravity based on
Yeah.
the efficiency that I'm calculating. But I'm just wondering if I can do better, It's just the perfectionist in me.
Yes, I completely get it.
Yeah.
How do I sound at this at this distance?
You're a little.
You start.
You're
You
a
look
little
cavey.
distant.
Yeah.
Now.
There.
Right,
Well,
right here.
I mean, right about there. Yeah.
It's good right there. No,
yeah. It's a little
distant,
echoey.
little echo.
Little echoey. Yeah.
Right here. Yeah, that's
better.
where it starts to feed in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Did you
you
get
playing
one of
with
the
your new
Blue
microphone?
Yeti ones?
It is a Blue Yeti. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what everyone's
Yeti
using.
makes microphones.
Yeah.
I thought they made coolers.
There's a huge. I mean, they're a huge name in microphones.
I also don't know if it's the same company.
I'm sure it isn't. I just know
I'm sure they're not. That's quite a leap going from coolers to microphones.
Well,
I
mean,
Yeti, like,
Yamaha makes drums. That's all I'm saying.
And motorcycles. Yeah.
And motorcycles. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know if here's a funny story. It was right before quarantine happened. I was at work one day, and customer comes in looking for a new hop called Zappa, and he's like, "You guys got Zappa hops?" And I'm like,
"How appropriate!"
What? I'm like, "What? The family's growing hops now? I didn't know about this." And then Mike, the manager's like, "Yeah, they're growing them in Montana." I was like,
"Oh dang!
Oh my god! I lost it right then and there." Of course, we looked it up, but then I did a little bit more. I did a little bit more research about it, and Zappa. There's Zappa, and there's one more. I'd have to look it up, but they're a desert hop that doesn't grow up. It kind of grows along the ground like a weed.
It grows
horizontally.
Okay.
And Yakima Valley actually saved those hops and brought them up to. And now they're producing them. That's how we got the Zappa, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. I gotta look it up. Yeah, I think it was Yakima Valley.
They say Northern Brewers says spicy tropical fruit, citrus, and pine, mostly used in hazies, fruit, pale ale, and mixed culture beers.
Yep, I think that was about right.
It's interesting.
And does it say where it's coming from? Is it coming from
it's the Neo Mexicanus. It's because the other one, the desert one that I was thinking of was Neo Mexicanus. The full name apparently is Neo Mexicanus Zappa. It's the same hop. And you're right, it does grow horizontally. Yeah.
Yeah. It grows along the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I can't wait for us to try and get them. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go get them elsewhere. It was kind of funny. I just found.
I feel like you have to make something with that, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna call either Yellow Snow or Montana or, Catholic Girls. I mean, it's gonna have something Zappa related.
It should.
Cruise Slut. I mean, we're gonna call it Joe's Garage. Dynamo Hum. I mean, really, I could go on for hours about I could do a whole line of beers with these hops and just name them after Zappitude. I'm a little bit.
You could customize it a little bit. Call it Polly's Garage, and then you could have So then you have Polly's Garage and Polly's Truck.
There you go.
And then you do some kind of like beer
Yeah.
in beer car bomb thing, and you put Polly's truck in Polly's garage. Or maybe I'm just overthinking this.
All right.
Well, I only do it for people like you, just to see, like, okay, here's each one. See if you can figure it out. Like the war files that we always talked about.
Scott
But
did
yeah.
not return. I hope he's okay.
No, he did. He said he had to put
He
the kids to
said
bed.
that he put the kids to bed. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's kind of funny because now I'm figuring out how to go between the two chats now. Like, it took me like 3 or 4 weeks to figure out that there's live comments, and I can get the comments from people coming in. But I can't do that stuff on my phone, though, which is weird.
No, this too small.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
exactly.
Yeah, for this, you really need a screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hey, check the live comments actually there, Jason. Or never mind.
Hello,
Hi, Sean.
I clicked
from
on the
Mad
wrong
Hatchet
link.
Brewing in Shorewood, Illinois.
I was sitting there waiting for you guys to let me in, and then I realized I clicked on the wrong link.
You went to the Google.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife comes home at damn near 6, so I'm always cooking when you guys first start because I don't do anything half-assed around this house. So the cooking in general too. So yeah, it's like when you guys start, I'm like, I'm cooking. I can't join, but no, this is a fun thing. I think you guys need to keep this going after COVID. Maybe once a week.
Maybe once a week. That's what we're thinking too. But
we're having a
keep it
ton of fun, and we were just talking a minute ago. You may have been trying to log in when we said this, but trading bottles between the four of us has really been a high point for us just throughout the quarantine. You know, we've had some really good discussions about homebrewing and homebrewing techniques and things like that, and I think all of our games have increased just based on those conversations that we've had.
Yeah, it's awesome, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So just so I can actually crack open a Mad Hatchet beer here.
Yeah.
In a couple seconds, when I'm done with this one, I got to do a bomber of big stout myself. So I got Island Quarantine here with toasted coconut, Ghana cocoa nibs, and almond extract.
Whoa.
So basically, an almond joy in a bottle. Actually,
yeah, it is. Okay.
Now I want to crack it open in front of you guys, but also it's like I got to drink this whole thing myself. I mean, it's not bad. It's 8.5% or 8.2. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Start off my festivities, but right now I've been. I took a trip over across the border to Indiana today to pick up some sparklers, and also picked me up a couple of cases of Yingling.
So I've had a lot of favorite things tonight, and one of them is all the euphemisms that we use for semi-legal activities.
So, I mean, with this year, fireworks being canceled in most places because of COVID.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to come to my backyard, we'll have a lot of sparklers.
A lot of sparklers. Okay.
Oh yeah, sparklers galore. Maybe some of those snakes, that you light up and they grow. I mean, that's probably going to be the extent of it. But yeah, I was not in Indiana at 8 a.m. this morning buying illegal Illinois paraphernalia.
No, of course not.
I did learn one thing this year, that smoke bombs are the best mosquito repellent ever. I'm gotten to the point now, if I want to go hang out on the front porch, I throw a couple smoke bombs in the front yard. Let them go off, and once they're done, now I can sit in the front yard. I just got to smell the gunpowder.
Better than citronella?
Oh, fuck
yeah,
yeah,
it really is.
I'm willing to put a $10
like smoke.
Yeah, I'm willing to put a $10 wager that there's like 8 mosquitoes in Paulie's beard right there.
No, I combed it before I came on, so we're good.
He combed it, so he's.
Oh, man.
You got a good looking COVID beard going on, bud.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
All four of us do, I think. Oh, we have 4 beards here.
I think I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
I think it works well on my face.
If you want people to respect anything you brew,
You gotta have a
probably
beard.
should keep it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an ongoing joke at work to where home brewer comes in and they're clean cut. I do not trust him, except for Dave Fetty. He's the only one that I trust.
There's
He's like a
one
science
thing.
teacher.
There's one thing I trust less than a clean-shaven home brewer, and that's a home brewer with a 6-pack. That guy's not making good beer.
I like that.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the classic thing of okay. I'm gonna add a new thing to this. All right, don't trust a home brewer without a beard, or a home brewer with a 6-pack, I guess, or a skinny chef.
Exactly.
Skinny chef, yes.
That's
That's
basically
an old saying. That's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So you guys are talking. I've been half paying attention. I think I've been slightly behind you guys, just responding to text messages and stuff today on my phone. But you guys were talking sours.
Yeah.
And then did I miss anything else?
That's been the hot topic so far. And let me ask you the question
been,
that I asked George, because I really want to build something here. So what I have in front of me is a light-bodied kettle sour, 3.2 pH. I will say it's not overwhelming on the sour notes, but this is unquestionably a sour.
Yeah.
So coming from a person who is not a sour person, me, we're talking about things that could maybe mellow out the sour flavors and which obviously would change the beer, but would kind of appeal to the non-sour crowd.
Right.
Okay.
So
what kind of adjuncts would make sense to accomplish that?
Yeah, this is definitely a sour beer for non-sour beer drinkers.
Okay, so you guys mentioned coriander. I'm gonna be the first to admit I'm not well versed in sours because we just started brewing them when we started brewing at the brewery. So I've had to kind of educate myself on them. I believe coriander. Holy shit! There he is.
Yeah, we're talking about you,
He's been
Scott.
gone for a while.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm again. I was putting my kids to sleep.
Welcome back. You'll have to watch the rest of the episode. We talked about your beer at great length.
We did.
Okay. All right. It was all glowingly positive, I'm sure.
Yes.
Honestly, it pretty much was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That'd be in
don't,
stark contrast to the first half hour.
Scott. I didn't get my package, so yes, guy sells a couple more minutes tonight, I think. But
So Scott, to recap
to
recap real quick, we decided that your sour beer is a sour beer for people that aren't usually fans of sour beers, like Jason. So
Why am I gone?
What?
No, nothing. I saw spinning things and I was gone for a second.
Okay.
Like, why am I gone? My internet is good.
Welcome to my world. Yeah, so it's a sour beer for people that aren't big into sour beers.
Did
So
you just open that with a hammer, Sean?
huh?
Did you just open that with a hammer?
No, it's one of those button guys.
Okay, never mind.
I decided against my previous logic. I'm going to drink this whole beer tonight.
Okay.
I'm off tomorrow. Fuck it, America.
America. Oh, well, he's gone again. All right.
Oh man, this is getting good.
So, Sean, if you were going to add something to this beer that you haven't had a chance to drink, what would it be?
Well, number one, I think sour beers were made for adjuncts. I don't think they really stand up great without adjuncts. I'm like Jason. Like I was like a sour. I'd avoided that on the menu for a long time. But now that we started brewing them, and I've kind of explored it, and then going out to Penrose Brewing in Geneva. I know we get very Chicago ecocentric here, but Penrose Brewing in Geneva, I think the only brewery in Illinois that has more barrels than them, at least at the time I heard this stat, was Goose Island. with all the Bourbon County stuff. So they do. I don't even think they bother to name their beers. They just give them numbers because they're all wild fermented sours and barrels. And then I remember going out there and like just appreciating the complexity of everything, even though nature did it, like, but they're good at getting nature in the right spot, type thing. So all that to say, kettle sours though, they're a pretty. The grain bill on them is normally 2-rower Pilsner malt, depending on who you are. You're going to do, and then half white wheat, and then some acidulated. We use acidulated Wireman just to bring down that pH initially. So you're not starting at a super high pH and you have to wait, a week to bring it down. But I think kettle sours in general, they just lack that complexity that regular sours have, or not regular sours, wild fermented barrel sours, basically. Okay. So they are made for adjuncts. We do a blueberry muffin one at the brewery, and then we do a black currant one. And I think black currants, I know you guys read my comment earlier, but yeah, I think black currants are just a perfect thing. Raspberry, blackberry, you guys kind of poo-pooed that. That's another excellent one.
He did.
He did.
I like that.
Who are you pointing at?
Hey, I was the one suggesting it. So.
That guy.
Yeah, this guy over here.
Listen, I poo-pooed that only because I feel like that would be furthering the flavors that are already in the beer, which are already sour notes.
Yes.
So to say that, I think we touched on this last time I was with you guys, is that Scott was saying he did, he brought his sours down to 3.2. When we're going to add more tartness, we stop at 3.5 or even as high as 3.7 sometimes, because we know that the fruit is going to add more tartness to it.
Okay.
So,
now this was based on my Berliner Weiss recipe.
Yeah.
So Sean or Scott, have you ever thought about adding lactose to it to increase the body and the sweetness a little bit, balance it out?
In Chicagoland, you add lactose to everything.
It's a sour.
Because we want
no.
we want diabetes as quick as possible in Chicago.
So you both are right. But
I love Scott's response.
It's supposed to be sour.
Sour.
Yeah. No, you both are absolutely right. It's just it has become a more popular thing to add to sour beers to smooth them out a little bit. And
so
I don't know if this is related. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go for it, bud. I talk too much.
I don't know if this is related, but one of our friends just gifted us a bottle of wine, and it tastes like straight Kool-Aid. Like, this is super sweet. This is terrible.
Oh,
no, it tastes like Kool-Aid. Like, imagine Kool-Aid.
But it got alcohol in it.
In Chicago,
it's called jungle juice.
We call that Four Loko.
Yeah. In Chicago, we would drink the shit out of that.
Oh, man.
This is blah.
Is it a commercial wine?
I don't know if it's just me, but my internet is terrible.
Tonight, it actually is just you. I'm doing good.
You're getting that lake effect internet.
All right, good.
Lake effect internet.
It's a real thing. Look it up. Don't look it up. Nice. It's not a real thing.
Don't look it up. Yeah.
It's nice to have George hold up as well as he has. This is a landmark episode of A Nice Place.
Yeah. I'm looking for something I can hold up and knock, because
whatever's around you're at a table. It's not
yeah.
table.
Yeah.
All right, I'm better.
Well. So
What else?
Oh,
How's the first taste of that bottle, Sean?
I mean, I can't sit here and brag about my own beer. I'm just not.
Yeah,
that
you can.
guy.
Do it,
Yeah.
man.
We're all friends here.
You have our permission.
So, in this, we brew 3 barrels. There's 60 pounds of toasted coconut in this. We use another 17 pounds of Ghana cocoa nibs, and then some almond extract because that's all you can do with nuts. But I like it. I wouldn't bring it on the show if I didn't like it. So
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, but I brewed it. We have it available in bottles right now. Maybe I'll add this to your snow globe package so you know that blackcurrants are the shit.
Okay.
That is quite a label you got there.
That is quite the label.
Actually, that's my before I joined the Navy, I did 2.5 years at College of DuPage of graphic design. And then I realized I wasn't going to have any money for the rest of my life. So I joined the Navy.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But so that's actually my thing. Mike did the Braggot bottle. And the whole thing with the Braggot bottles, you wanted.
Really cool.
What's that?
You got a bunch of those? You got a bunch of those Braggot bottles?
Yeah, we
So
did
what?
we did like 370. Yeah, and they're not big. They're not bombers. They're 350-ish milliliters.
Okay.
Because it's a mead, dude. It's we brewed a legal mead, and honey is not fucking cheap.
No, it's not.
So I don't even remember how many pounds. I just know we just kept pouring honey in it, and in the fermenter we recirculated it on top of each other to mix in the honey with the. I mean the grain bill was 2-row, and I think it was like 300 pounds of 2-row and like 10 pounds of honey. Like we wanted the honey to shine through on it.
Do you think that honey is going to be more expensive this year because of the murder hornets?
The murder hornets. I haven't seen one yet. I was excited.
Yeah, I don't think they.
I wanted to fight one.
You want to fight a murder hornet?
Fuck yeah. Sorry.
I have no desire to fight a murder hornet.
You've got me later in the night, so shit's about to get real. And a nice place to brew.
Hey, Sean, would you now? I apologize if this offends your sensibilities, but with the coconut and everything that you added to that, would you consider that a tropical stout?
I don't know, man. It's a good stout.
Did you roast the coconut
what's
yourself?
your feeling on the?
I mean, it looks tropical. So
Right? Yes, true.
well,
So
our whole
what's your
thing
feeling
is.
on like the tropical stout thing?
So I didn't even know this was a thing. Explain to me what a tropical stout is.
So a tropical stout is one that has usually coconut, but like fruitier flavors to it, a lot of citrus notes, and it's kind of a blending of the roasty notes of stouts plus a lot of more tropical notes like fruit and coconut and citrus and things like that to it.
I guess it's one of those.
Okay. They become a little bit more popular, and there are people. I saw Jason. I think he just went off to grab a beer or something, and there are people that have some definite opinions on them, one way or the other.
Bad,
so I wasn't
bad opinions.
Yeah, some people like. It's one of those things that a lot of people either love it or they hate it. You know.
Well, you know what? Like, I'm a very seasonal drinker. In general, like. That's why I gain 40 pounds every winter. It's because of these big, heavy, Bourbon County releases. And then we have all the great Chicago, if mention a few, Vlad from Hailstorm and all these good. And then, Workforce doing what every version of Sleepy Bear they do. So So I love that, but I'm a very like seasonal drink. Like stouts are like all I drink in the winter, and then in the summer it's like if you bring one that intrigues me, I'll drink it. But I'm not going out to buy stouts, So
Right.
and I don't know. I feel like it's a good vibe to live by. Like just more clear beers, more danky IPAs in the summer, more of the fun stuff, like the clear fun stuff. You can smash it while you're mowing the lawn type stuff in the summer. But
right.
I think this. I mean, as craft beer drinkers, I think all of you will agree. We'll drink stouts year round.
Oh yeah.
I won't.
You won't?
I usually. You know what? Like Sean said, if something intrigues me, I'll try it. I'll probably get more of a sampler of it than a full pint. Because to commit to a full pint of that, like especially a few weeks ago when we were had to be outside. I remember I was hanging out with Greg Steinhaus from our club, and
Steiny.
I had to laugh. Yeah, Steiny. I had to laugh because it was hot as heck, and he's sitting outside, and he orders the Willette from Lagunitas.
Yeah.
90% Imperial Stout, and I'm like drinking 2 or 3 to his because he's just like, yeah, you don't drink a stout in the summer, but like something like even though you put coconut in yours, which I'm not a fan of. Oh, Scott chimed off. Scott asked a question. I was gonna fucking. You didn't hear. I was gonna ask it for you. Did you guys toast your own coconut or no?
Sorry, George.
I'm sorry. What was your last question, Paulie?
Did you guys toast your coconuts yourself, or did you buy them toasted?
No, we bought them toasted. Actually, we bought them from a homebrew shop, and we had them in 1 pound bags. So I had to open up 60 bags of coconut myself, which was not fun. Yeah, but
I get that.
If you're gonna have a summertime stout, though, I think this is the one to have. You want that? I mean, obviously, Almond Joys are delicious, and if you don't agree with me, you can jump off a cliff and die and cleanse the gene pool.
Wow.
But
I like Mount. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're an asshole, Paulie. But no,
yeah, but we knew that.
No, yeah. My whole point was
refer to the very first episode that I joined.
Yeah.
You will always be famous, Paulie. Always.
We're gonna have a special master class for Paulie. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, Sean, you were saying.
My whole point with that was, if you're gonna have a stout on in summer, for us like true craft beer drinkers, where we're gonna drink something dark in summer, it might as well have coconut in it and be super tropical. So,
yeah.
Do you
toast the coconut yourself?
No, actually, we buy it from. Ooh, I wish I remembered the name of the website, but no, we get it. There's a homebrew website. I was just telling Paulie, I literally had to open up 60 1 pound bags from this website.
60? Oh my god!
Yeah, but they're pre-toasted.
Oh,
but
okay.
I did one as a home brewer, and I toasted it myself, and it turned out fantastic. So I mean,
we were doing a toasted coconut stout a couple of weeks ago with one of the local breweries here. Mm-hmm. It's an imperial stout with toasted coconut, and it was phenomenal. And it was the first couple of cans off the line, and he was super gracious to get it to us for the podcast. But we were pulling coconut out of our teeth like this.
Oh yeah.
No.
It was super good. I mean, we were chewing on coconut. Like, this is phenomenal. He went, Jesus. He went through the whole story about how they spent 8 hours the night before toasting coconut.
and you have, please, for the love of God, bag coconut. If you don't want to have Paulie the plumber come out and fix everything the next week, bag your coconut. That's one thing
because
you always bag. You have to bag it. And I would put cocoa nibs with it too. So we had in this one we had, you know, obviously bigger bags and homebrew bags, but we had both of them bagged. And I remember like cleaning out the fermenter. I was like pulling body bags of just coconut. Like I just felt like I was carrying a human body out of there. My shirt was ruined that day.
How would you know what it's like to carry human bodies out of there?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Yeah.
I guess, right?
Hey, Scott, I have never finished 2 bottles of a sour back to back in my adult life.
They're super light.
Yeah. But honestly, no, I mean that as a compliment to you. Like I'm enjoying this enough that I'm going through it all.
I'll take it as long as they don't taste like Parmesan. I've had to dump a whole batch of sour because they tasted like Parmesan cheese.
Ooh.
I mean,
Parmesan cheese.
I wonder what off flavor is that?
When you oxidize, when you get too much oxygen in your sour, you get a cheesy flavor in there.
Yeah, with either the probiotic or the lactic acid.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but yep.
That does make sense.
The smell was very cheesy.
Does it?
Well, you would probably boil that off, right? Like you would boil that.
Well, maybe that's why it showed up.
I dumped it. At this point, I would distill it into an essential oil. But at that point, I just dumped it.
Yeah. See, I've never had a sour go wrong, so I mean, but I like Parmesan cheese too. So
have you really lived? I mean, until a sour goes wrong.
I'm not sure I'd like to drink Parmesan cheese, but I do like Parmesan cheese.
Throw a couple of coupons in the beer, it'd be money.
Right? My wife came into the basement like, "What is that smell?" Like, I'm sorry, that's me. I should give it an Italian name and be like, no, it's supposed to have Parmesan cheese in there.
If you do name it, you just call it Molto Bella Tutti Frutti?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Oh man.
All right. How's the beer going down, Sean? Feeling good?
I've actually just got a little bit of the bottle left.
Wow. All right. That's a good sign. Yeah.
Nice.
Doing all right. It's only 8.5. So, I mean, it's not like a big boy stout. Obviously, lower alcohol for the summer. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you guys all set up for the 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, I got some sparklers.
Yeah.
Are you? What?
God,
I was going to throw something out controversial. I am willing to give up fireworks completely. Not just local fireworks, not just backyard fireworks, all fireworks forever and always. Let's get rid of them. Hate them.
Why?
wow.
Illinois. They're technically illegal.
They're illegal here too. They're loud. Dogs hate them. I don't even have dogs. Dogs hate them. To me, they feel like a waste of money. Like I see a huge fireworks display go up, like, oh God, the amount of money that went up into the sky just now and exploded.
Are they legal in Ohio or Pennsylvania?
They're legal in Pennsylvania, yes.
So do people make runs to Pennsylvania and bring them back?
Oh yeah. No, my whole neighborhood, every single night, fireworks are going off in my neighborhood because it's 45 minutes to the border.
Yeah, see I mean, that's right where we're at.
There's fireworks stores right across it.
Yeah, see, we're 45 minutes from the border of Indiana, and that's exactly what people do, is they drive into Indiana and bring them back here.
Those sons of bitches.
Buy sparklers.
Right. Sons of bitches.
And they all come to my neighborhood. No, I share that to some extent. I don't know if I would swear off fireworks altogether, but yes, do I have sounds like at odd hours of the day, yes.
Have you not heard enough Lee Greenwood already? You need more Lee Greenwood.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I'll admit I don't know Lee Greenwood.
Oh, and I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Lee Greenwood.
Yeah, no, I've definitely heard enough of that.
right
Yeah. I've definitely heard enough of that.
Yep.
Actually,
I'm good. Get rid of all of them. Laser shows and drones. That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
Laser
That's
shows and drones.
That's the future.
Okay, all right.
We lost Sean. Come back, Sean.
He's frozen.
Oh no!
You know,
Let it go.
with his headset, it is like a traditional gamer's headset. I do expect him to
Oh yeah.
tell us he's fornicating with one of our mothers or something, you know?
Well, didn't he say that the other use for that headset was playing Fortnite? Didn't that come up last show?
I think maybe it did. I wasn't sure if he actually plays Fortnite or if it just would be appropriate.
I'll ask him when he comes back. I know he will.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Hi,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. So, hey, Scott, I need to send you the recipe. Or somebody needs to send you the recipe.
For the Martzen?
Yeah. Do you have Beersmith?
I do. Yeah, if you want, just send me the XML.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to send you Jason's base XML, and then you can tailor it to your equipment.
Sounds good.
Since you got to put yours on autopilot with the Robo Brew.
Autopilot, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got to bail tonight, apparently. So I will...
Right now?
Yeah, hold on.
Hey, Sean, do you play Fortnite with that headset?
No, I'm not a Fortnite guy. I'm a Call of Duty guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was like,
all right, I got like 5 minutes.
You got 5? Okay.
All right.
I seem to remember there'd be some kind of game reference when you came onto the show last on Monday.
Well, I like the microphone because it keeps the background sound out of it.
Yeah, you sound perfect.
Uh,
Oh, that means a lot.
Yeah, just with that headset and all the.
I tried to walk downstairs to agree with Scott in with a background of fireworks behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was gonna do like Scott. I totally agree with you, but apparently my Wi-Fi is down, so I just plugged you guys into the LAN here.
Oh, nice. LAN party, guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, that takes me back.
Sean, are you guys? Is Mad Hatchet open in the next 3 days?
We have not said we're not. I don't know. That's not my job. I just make sure there's beer on the tap handles.
Oh, should
But
I call our club president? Is he running that?
Yeah, maybe we should talk to him. But no, I know we're definitely. I don't know if we're actually open on 4th of July, but we're open the rest of the weekend. Other than that, for sure.
Okay, right on. When does the coconut stout get tapped, or is it already?
Oh, it's been, and we have bottles available to take home.
Oh, right on.
We started bottling stuff because we had a bunch of bottles, and then just with COVID, like we went through more crowlers in the past couple of months than we've gone through in a year. So we were trying to get some stuff in bottles just to kind of alleviate that pain of just we can't get enough crowlers right now because the guy who makes the crowlers is getting the same ridiculous order from everybody. So,
right.
Yeah. Because everyone was just doing to-go beers.
Right.
We got beer the other night from a local place, and I ordered 3 crowlers over the phone. and they handed it to me in a carrier, one of the snap top things.
Yeah.
That houses 3 crowlers.
Yeah,
like,
we have
how
those.
How do you have this insane specific thing? Like, I ordered 3 crowlers, and you have this 3 crowler carrier.
So I'm gonna ruin your buzz right now on that. That's what they come in. So you just ordered the right amount of crowlers.
Oh, perfect. All right. I was in the Goldilocks zone of crowlers.
Yeah.
I was picturing a 3D printer back there that could print up like one.
Yeah, right.
Give us 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make aluminum for you.
When that beer tender saw that order,
for the caps,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
when that whatever beer tender saw that order come through, did one of these.
Yeah.
I can use our 3 crowler carriers now.
I was super impressed. I tipped extra. Like, that's amazing.
Well, it's good you tips extra.
The right tool for the job.
Our servers, in general, our service people really need it right now. And I know they're just like slowly getting back to work, but it just is not the same. Yeah. There's people who do that as a part-time gig, and they have their regular gig, but there's people who bartend full-time that just still need our support. Like when everybody goes back to breweries. Oh, sorry.
No, the hard part right now is when I order takeout and they're like, "Would you like to add a tip to it?" And like, I'm not looking at numbers. So I used to be like, "Yeah, throw $15 on there," and then I'd go back and be like, that was like 12%. Like, I'm an asshole. So now I'm just like, you want to add a tip to it? Like, yeah, just throw like 20-25% on there, and that's good.
Yeah.
And then my wife yells at me when the credit card comes back, but you know how it is. I mean, if you've ever worked food service, which of course I have.
If you're working right now, you're getting paid like you normally would. I'm not saying somebody who's furloughed or whatever, but if you're working right now, and especially going back to the bars now, at least that's what we're doing in Illinois. They haven't made a living in a couple months, so just be generous. I'm
a teacher, and I'm not working right now, and I'm so sorry, everybody else. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I think that's an easy thing to get behind, because I mean, what Sean is saying is 100% right.
Absolutely,
there's a lot of people that do that type of work that have been hit very, very hard by the events of the last 3 months. So
and it's
any
so
opportunity
nice to see everyone out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic to see everyone out again.
Yeah,
it is. I went to bed with a smile the first night we opened the patio. It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
just to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Well,
knock on wood. Let's not let the numbers go up again. Let's do everything the right way, and let's make sure we can maintain this.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, but don't go. If I can say one thing, McDonald's is gonna be all right. Go eat at the mom and pop shop next to McDonald's.
Yes.
I can't stand. There's right across the street from the brewery. There's a Home Depot that always is fucking 20. They're always really deep with people, 25 people deep, and I just want to yell at them. I'm like, you see that Mexican restaurant across the street? Number one, you're gonna get better, healthier food, and McDonald's is gonna be all right. And I still think we need to keep that, even though things are opening up slowly back again. I think we need to keep that perspective. I'm very passionate about that. I think you heard my voice go up an octave when I started talking. So
I agree with that 100%.
I agree 100%. Like I got to admit, I'm between Sean and Jason. I mean, Jason ate there, but Sean, you need to get down to the pub. They've been doing some good shit with their food, man. They've been doing like today. Today, I went there for lunch today, and they did a Alfredo chicken sandwich. smothered in provolone sauce.
Nice.
I haven't had that good in my life. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it was. Here's a funny story. With on Saturday, I got off work and a friend of mine was in town, so I went to go see her. And we all went to the pub to go. Well, went to Chicago Street to eat dinner. And Jason saw me inside, and I'm sitting outside with everybody else. It took his girlfriend's Facebook post to realize they're inside. I'm like, as soon as I looked at that, I stood right up and I walked right in to Chicago Street.
Yeah. That's how it happened. True story.
It was fun. I really did get a kick out of that.
Yeah, it was great.
George is back. There he is.
Oh,
yes, he is.
Yeah, is Scott gone for good?
Well, we'll give him a minute. I think we're getting to about sign-off time. We are over the 2 hour.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Scott said that he had 5 minutes, and he was definitely on for longer than that. We don't want to get him in trouble.
He was.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, on this 4th of July weekend, visit your local breweries, visit your local restaurants. Like Sean said, McDonald's is going to be just fine. Support.
And remember,
local
hang on,
businesses.
Jason. Remember, when you're checking out, offer code Jason.
Yes.
I'm going to use that. I'm totally going to use that.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into the webcast. Today is July 2nd. Happy 4th of July to everybody. I hope you enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Be safe out there. Support local, including Mad Hatchet Brewing out of Shorewood, Illinois, where you can see Sean. And you can try
finish this
and
on our cheers.
Sure. And you can and you can enjoy Sean's coconut stout that he's enjoying here on the webcast today. We do our webcast every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a podcast under the same name, A Nice Place to Brew. It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and all those other podcasting platforms. Our social media pages are on A Nice Place to Brew and Nice Place to Brew. And our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com. Be back here on Monday for our next webcast at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Let's send us out with one last cheers. And we say, it takes a lot of good beer to make great beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Keep it going, guys, with Pat.